everything like that, you know. It's mental health, depression, obviously phones and social media.
Now, a lot of people now, when I was younger, we used to go out, gone up the fields, bird nesting, we used to go fishing and diving. You know, no, they just sit in the room, get
Bird nesting.
Welcome to Do You Know What I Mean podcast. Today I'm absolutely thrilled. We've got Ginger Cal and friends, Big Bob, Angry Bob.
Alright, Bob.
Alright, how you doing? Alright.
Fucking champion, mate.
Yeah, you're having a pint there.
I'm having a nice fucking pint out with James, mate.
First podcast, isn't it?
It is, yeah. This is our first guest appearance, isn't it, Bob?
Yes, it's the first one,
So, I like, obviously I've only met you through... Well, obviously we met the other week, because the other week Liam forgot the fucking...
you mean
this podcast is a week late, because Liam forgot the mixer. So, obviously, I came across you on the internet, like, years ago. And it was from seeing you. Because I worked on building sites, I was a plasterer. And yous have just got that normal crack of what? How did it happen? What's the crack?
It's mad how it all started. So me and Les, like, I don't know, I've always filmed stuff from being a young age, even at school. Like, fucking, I started the series fucking when I was in school, and remember when infrared phones and shit were going about?
Yeah.
So I had this little series going called fucking Brolly Boy, where I just go and put a brolly over random people and just stand and look at them, and like just stuff like that. And I know it's fucking mad, but I've always been a bit fucking odd like that, you know what I mean?
Like Brolly Boy?
Like definitely fucking undiagnosed spectrum sort of shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here I am, and anyway. So basically I've always filmed stuff everywhere I've been, whatever I've done, interesting people I find funny. And when I started working with Les Shuttleworth, obviously fucking Bob's son, if he's a lad, Les.
Yeah, Les.
Les is one of the most naturally funny people in the fucking world, like. So we started videoing stuff for day-to-day shit, what we're doing on the building site, and it just took off, and it just seemed to generate followers quite quickly. And then obviously you came on the scene, Bob. I'll let you tell them how it happened, you know.
Well, how it happened when I come on was... I looked on Facebook, and Tony come on and went, "This is a typical message of me granda. Answer your phone, you And then put them cotton under it, and it's just come from there. And that's how it all started.
But we're real as hell, that's how it is.
Luckily, Liam will go...
But that's how it started. So this phone call was him at his... so for me, the Angry Bob content is at its pinnacle when he is really, really, really fucking chowed off. Like,
So just this Angry Bob, right? This Angry Bob are you really angry?
Oh...
No, not let Bob answer. Let Bob, not because you obviously you know how to push Bob's buttons.
I am a bad temper cunt sometimes.
Yeah. Were you known for this from being a youngster, or is it as you've got a bit older?
I've always fucking been known for
It's that fucking ginger hair, man.
Never had ginger hair in my life, you fucking ginger cunt.
I've seen the pictures. Right?
He gets to be... I think he's the only ginger in the fucking world, eh? He's getting his hair done. He may get a different colour this thing.
Oh no, with black hair and a ginger beard.
With my 80-year-old pal with a facelift.
So, did you not meet on the building site then, or did you meet just in the pub or what? Or
Well, there's a pub in Wallsend in Howden. It's a fucking rough as fuck pub called the Rose Hill Social Club, and it's gone now. R.I.P. Fucking beautiful place, but that was basically the area where all the characters were gone in it.
And that's where I got the pasty thing from. I'm not saying who it was, but this last said to Tony, to me, will you tell your Tony I want to smash his pasty?
This is a raging debate. This is a raging debate. So you stole it off Buzzcocks.
Oh, smash your pasty.
No, that's how I heard. I never knew about the Buzzcocks then. I'll swear down. That's how I got it.
So serious.
I didn't know there was a war going on with you and Buzzcocks.
Well, he claims he's the founder of this saying.
Smash your pasty.
Well, that's how I come about saying it.
So I suppose
Big Buzzcocks, yeah.
Fucking
Shout out to Buzzcocks.
Shout out to Buzzcocks, because he was the original fucking... He's the OG of the social media fucking carry on.
Oh, he's good. I love them.
Yeah.
I doff me cap. You fucking little dofty.
So then did you just start filming? But so what happened? So obviously you got introduced from your son.
So basically we took it from there. So there was the first video. He had a yellow t-shirt on. It was some sort of fucking car mate or something. It was Lamborghini or something. And it was him just rattling about in his garden, but I sped it all up and put like car sounds, car noise effects in between him kicking off. And we found it hilarious, but it didn't get any views, you know what I mean? So we were pissed.
Have you still got the video or not?
I'll try and find it, I'll try and dig it out. But we were fucking howling at this video. We put it on, it wasn't really resonating with the audience, so we're like, yeah, fuck, how aren't people getting him?
Sounds amazing, to be honest.
It was fucking from. He's like that around his garden, and he's taking things a bit more than that. And then I just thought, let it flow more naturally, and we started waiting. Les can push your buttons like Nick else, can't he?
Oh, I mean, me and Les bounce up each other.
Yeah,
all the time, you know what I mean?
Sexually.
It just...
Incestually.
Go on, Bob. He's boiling now already. No, so obviously you and Les, and then you got to meet Ginge, didn't you? Ginger Cal.
He called us fucking Carl for 10 years, for the first 10 years. Actually, still calls us Carl to this day.
Oh, do I?
He never gets my name right.
Yeah.
Well, I gone through the full family before I get his name on.
Because I remember, obviously, obviously the video. Did you know about how viral you'd went? Like when you came on the scene, did you know how big you were becoming, or did you not have a clue?
No, I didn't even feel I'm big. No, I'm just me.
No, I know you, but like you got how many followers have you got now? 500 on Facebook, 520,000 followers.
See, that's one thing from day to day what doesn't resonate with me, you know. So I'll be out with my pals, and I'll be like, "How the fuck's he looking at that daft cunt?" And then they'll be like, I get that.
Yeah. I'm me. I'm nobody special.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Big Bob.
You're fucking special.
I am in Thailand. It's called Italian Bob over there.
The Italian Bob.
The stallion.
You're supposed to blow his back doors off.
But it's just natural what we do. You know what I mean? We never rehearse now. You know what I mean? Never do it. Like,
No.
When he comes and stirs a shake with me,
yeah.
he knows I'm gonna bite.
No, I know. I can tell that by the videos. I've worked with people who do rehearse stuff, and I've worked with people who like yourself. You're very naturally angry, aren't you?
See, it's fucking unbelievable because I get asked this question fucking so many times. Is he like that in real life? And I'm going to tell you for a fact, and categorically, he's fucking worse. He's worse in real life. Yeah. He's a cunt, you know.
It's like that saying that they say about comedians, like they say the worst jokes, like the most ruthless jokes off the telly. Do you know, they're the ones where if you're in the back room with a load of comedians, they're going to say the things that would get you cancelled and get your band, and you never, like, people won't want to know you. But like it's like the same with you. Like, obviously, I bet there's stuff sometimes where you just like think, oh, I can't put that on.
Oh,
you know, like you just kick-off's been too bad.
The amount of footage I have to delete is fucking unbelievable. And I watch it and the hairs on the back of my neck. What we got, Leaky lad?
There we go.
There's a boy.
Thank you very much.
There's a boy.
We're doing one video one day, and he says, I'm going to go and edit it now. He says, I'm editing the swear words out. There wasn't any content.
Yeah, but thanks very much, mate. Do you want to give the shout out to the place?
Leaky, do you want to jump on?
Oh mate, I'm too busy now.
He got some plates.
Okay, love you, Leaky, but I will give Leaky a shout out because he's one of the coolest, best ever chefs ever, right? He's just got...
Give the place a shout out.
This is we're at Scott and Wilson here in North Shields, one of the best places for food cuisine in the northeast.
Fair ones,
I'm keeping off them hotty ones and all.
Right, well, take it easy, boys.
Cheers, mate. Love you, man. He's cool as hell, Leaks.
Yeah,
he lived in Amsterdam for a long time lately. Like, he's got some good stories.
Not as many stories as you in Thailand, eh?
Aye.
So, do you know, like, so obviously, are you up to date with your social media yourself, or do you just leave everything to Ginger Cal?
Well, I'm just there when 24/7 we're together nearly all the time.
Do you have your own Facebook, or do you just leave?
Well, I've got my own Facebook.
You had
and I've got my own Angry Bob design.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you had your own Snapchat though, didn't you? What's it called?
Well, I had Snapchat. So there was women coming on saying...
How old was he when he got Snapchat?
78.
And this is like... Bob, if you photo shoot, what I call this, he says, I'll block you. And just give him a fucking gadget a blowjob.
Who was giving a gadget a blowjob?
This bird at him now, she was. Then it was happening all the time, them flashing that cell and everything. And I went, whoa, scanny this, like. And then one night, kid comes on, and he's fucking lying on the bed with his underpants on. He's gone, oh Bob, I'd love to suck your cock. Fucking hell, I went here. So I panicked. And I get on the phone with my granddaughter. She says, how the fuck do I get this off? How do I get it off? What do I do? She press that, and I knocked all my Snapchat on them.
He had it with fucking 35,000 on it as well, you know. And he's knocked it off and it's gone forever. He rang me. He says, Carl, I fucking deleted Snapchat. I says, why you done that? He says, a fucking bloke's wanking himself.
Fuck that.
He's fucking just gone clean deleted the cunt.
I'll stick to the lady boys.
Hey, honestly, fucking hell.
Snapchat, so you're not going to go back to Snapchat? Doesn't do anything for you? No, that's it. Just one lad wanking off, just totally... Just
fucking brilliant. It was sheer panic in his voice as well. It was like he's done something wrong, do you know what I mean?
I couldn't fucking speak, man. I was fucking gobsmacked.
That's a fucking serial underworld of things, isn't it?
I had to phone my granddaughter and ask him what she doing. She's wronging herself.
So when obviously you met Bob and that, and then what made you think? Obviously you meet him and you realise he's a character. Did you know straight away as soon as you met Bob?
It's like I've always observed people. I'm a really close watcher of humans, like, and I observe them and I observe how people are around them and just seeing how naturally fucking funny he was. Like, I would be in kinks me just through knocking about with him and Les would have an argument.
Yeah.
And the fucking patter that rolls off the tongue between them, I'd be in creases. Like, so I thought this has got to be documented, and that's really the fucking probably the basis of what Ginger Carl and Friends grew on.
Yeah.
There was obviously.
Did you? What was there a moment when Bob done something that went viral? What was the first viral video that really took off?
The car one when I toured the car with a 2.5 wire.
There was a good few fucking moments there, but it's just extreme kickoffs. It's that when he hits that extreme temperature of rage where he's boiling hot and he's fucking.
Have you never punched one of them or hit them?
Oh,
I know you've hit them joking on, like punching them joking.
No, some of them I fucking mean it.
He burnt me.
Yeah,
he burnt us with we're doing an OnlyPans Christmas special, which is a cooking show.
What he done, I went outside. He got me outside to show them.
I didn't. Did I fuck?
You did.
Did I fuck?
You did.
We've been through this.
So anyway, I come back in again, and he had burnt me fucking things. I was making deliberate, put the fucking the
I hadn't, you know.
Right up.
Yeah.
And I
so I went here and I hid one on his fucking hand.
I just come out the oven scalding hot. He went, take that, you cunt, and slammed it on my hand. My hand was fucking blistered, you know what I mean? I thought you physically assaulted us there. It's quite bad, that, isn't it? You know?
Again, a suicide.
But he's quite violent. When he lashes out, you can feel the venom in his punches sometimes.
It's turned into one of them Oprah Winfrey docs. You're just telling us a load of abuse stories off Bob.
Well, what were you like when you were younger? You used to smash plates.
Do you know? This is what I'm saying. So were you always in the building game, or so from a young age? Like, how did you? Where did you grow up, Bob?
Well, I started at a garage.
What, you grew up in a garage?
No, in a fucking. I'm not old, in a fucking major.
Yeah.
No, but then I left there and I went to the pit and I worked down the pit 10 years.
Yeah. So is that before Thatcher shut it all?
Then before that, sorry, I was serving my time as a sheet metal worker. I did 3.5 years ago. Yeah, I got my sitting in guilds and all that. Then I packed in. From there, and I wanted to get the pit cut. I was getting about fucking $250 a fucking week.
Tell him about the donkey down the pit, man. That's a good one. We'll stop off there. Tell him about that. When you bit the donkey.
When I was doing the pit, I don't know what I get. I said this pony called Sid. People who are still alive who knows and probably know all about him. And it was a twat for biting me.
Well, you had a real pony?
A pony, so it was a twat for biting you. So the stable keeper had a muzzle on him, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes you feel sorry for him and take it off.
Yeah.
You fuck out. And, you know, when the conveyor belt's gone there, they'll jump out with a fucking belt, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when he takes it off, and I'm bending down to get a bit fucking cap with you. That's what he used for you had to tie me lamp up.
Yeah.
And the cunt bit us on the back. You fucker. I just went out learn from and I bit a fucking V. I've got a photo of the V with the fucking lip. Fucking.
You bit the donkey.
You bit the donkey, man.
No donkey, they're fucking ponies, man. Not donkeys, fucking they're not fucking
This is what we're dealing with, man. The man's
See how angry you got there. I'm changing him from a pony to a donkey.
No,
you went mental.
before your face trained, you the girder leading you. You hang a pony on the end of a girder, and I mean it's fucking 8 foot long. You've got to run like fuck over bumps and lumps and duck and fucking everything, right? Now you sit on the limbers, and you've got a tub behind you. The Galloway's horse is there. The tub behind you. You sit there and it fucking shits all over you. Oh, fucking have some fucking
How the
time for
fuck's this ended up from going from the mines?
Used to finish early, you know, and get back the stables.
Yeah.
And fucking sleep in the fucking stables on the choppy bags, you know.
Yeah.
Used to wake up fucking mice running all over you.
Yeah.
And another time I went in and I said, I'll go and get Sid, because there was only 2 stallions at the Rising Sun. That was Sid and Pal, right?
Yeah.
So I gone in and I went, oh, fucking, yeah, look at this. Fucking spunk all over the place. They hadn't been fucking giving the cell a fucking wank. I thought it was going to get fucking out with this a cunt a day. That's true, that, really true, that.
So you went from working in the...
Well,
so you went
from
from...
the pit, then I fucking... I'll start working at a building firm, Wall's End. Then I did a course on plastering, and then I ended up plastering.
Yeah. It's a hard job in it. I was a plasterer for years, Dad.
Then I end up, when me and my son, brother-in-law end up as Northern Builders. We're working with myself on a kind of view, yeah. And it just went on from there, and then I got a little bit older and I got fucking sick.
Yeah.
So I ended up now just fucking making that furniture, you know. With
Yeah.
and things
You do
like
well with the furniture. I've seen some of the furniture. It's nice, isn't it? No, that's the first thing our lass said. As soon as she's seen a few videos, she's like, "Oh, I'd like some of them." It's going to cost me a fortune. This.
You charge me full price for the cunt.
You've got to do it, haven't you, Bob? You've got to earn your money,
Well,
haven't
that was
you?
a lot of years ago, that, when I first started. I
Yeah.
think I was doing 2 a week.
How many did you do now then?
Be careful.
Tax man.
Don't
How
put
many
that
could
on.
you do now?
Don't put that on.
No, we won't.
I will cut that out.
What? What's going on there? The tax man.
I hope it's not that cunt wanking himself.
Fucking anxiety going through the roof. So then obviously you went the doing the furniture and that. Now, were you just happy to just chill out and that, or did you think of suddenly when Cal started doing these videos, did you think
you know what I mean? I just love doing them. It's good fun, you know.
Yeah, and you make a lot of people happy, don't you? Because it's good for people's mental health as well.
I mean, a lot of people will get that feedback, didn't we?
Massively, that's a massive
Really
part
big
of it,
time, you know what I mean?
Well,
I'm just me. I'm nobody special.
Well, that's one of my favourite things about doing comedy is the feedback that you get, making people happy, innit? That is that's worth more than any money.
That's all we got into it for.
I tell you what, this government have made people happy, and them are fucking comedians.
Yeah, I know. So when you started doing stuff, when you noticed your following start going up, did you not think like, God, like I can go really big with this? Was there anything, or did you just think, nah, I'm just?
No, we've never.
Mate, no, I would tend to disagree. I've always wanted. I don't know why I have always, but I've always craved notoriety, and I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's something's happened in my past when I've now when I'm psychoanalyzing it. I haven't got a fucking clue why, but I'd love to be known. I'd rather have 1 million followers than £1 million. Like legitimately, and I don't know why. So when I was at school, if a new school year came in, I would do something stupid. Like I would fucking go and set a fire extinguisher off, or fucking do something daft. Do you know, so people knew who I was in the school, and I don't know why that's always been in us and part of us. And I love hearing the sound of people laughing. If you're doing something and someone laughs, it's such a fucking mad buzz that you can't get.
Is that why you love shagging so much?
That's normally them crying. That.
What are you talking about? Shut up.
He's just been asleep, Bobby, and shagging.
No, I'm more interested in that.
Yeah.
He's got like hot words in his hearing aid. That's what that is.
Yeah, you've got a hearing aid, Bob. You've got the hearing aid in.
What?
Have you got the hearing aid?
I fucking need one, like.
You need one, you know, a little sponsor one that says Ginger Cal and Friends on the side.
Bit of plug.
I've got fucking selective hearing.
Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you. So, obviously, what's the next step for you at the moment? What you thinking? What you wanting to do? What What's your
we're just
goals?
waiting to see what happens with our Facebook.
So I think we're back in the ascendancy. I think we've had a big lull, and that was partly through me being fucking bad on the drugs. You know, I went through a bad stage of being heavy, didn't I? And that killed the fucking creation and everything. I was fucking heavy,
and I plagued the life out of him all the time. He doesn't even smoke now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think Les told me yesterday he went round to his for a tab. Or was you just joking?
That was just a lie, though.
Ah, well. Tell a lot of lies.
What was that? What was somewhat you've been involved with? Were you involved with drugs from a young age, or?
From a young age, I was quite liberated. Like my parents were like quite laid back on stuff like that. So I was like taking drugs and that from being really young, and I've just found myself. I don't know what I've always found. I've never met my own expectations for where I need to be. Like I was saying before about the million follower sort of thing, and I like it. And I found drugs as a way of escaping, you know. And I really got heavy into them, and still to this day, don't get us wrong, there's no better feeling than the feeling of being high as fuck on any sort of class here, and that's, it's not a good thing to get into, but that's where I was, and I got so much wrapped up in it that the creation stopped. It stopped the growth of the page, it stopped everything, it stopped me being a good page. It was just a bad thing to be in.
Yeah, of course. I mean, everyone suffers from mental health. I mean, I went through a terrible time years ago, not drug related or not alcohol, but a lot of people don't realise what men go through as well, as because they don't. It's not like back in the day when Bob was younger. You know, when
I've never had any issues with mental health as well.
You've never had no mental health.
He helps me dividends like that, like, because he'll tell me some little slogan or something, and I just. He's so positive mindset.
And why do you think that is, Bob? Why do you think you've never had? Have you ever been involved in drugs or?
Oh, I've done it more the T-shirt.
Yeah.
But just you realise, you know, when you're a certain age, you think, yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah.
This is not real life, really. It's not real life, really, is it? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course. But do you think there's a reason?
And what I've done with him, I've like my experience. I've tried to tell him, and he's taking notice of it, really. I mean, there's only one person can help you, and that's yourself.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, definitely.
And that's what he's done. He's helped himself, you know.
Yeah. It's like I say, it's just. I mean, you do look at it. Seems to nowadays. I think a lot of the younger generation do have mental health problems. They do like go to like our age, like from 33, 34, 35, younger. And I don't know if it's to do with the drugs or the social media.
I think it's just living in such an unnatural world. Like everything we live by, we're woke up by alarms. We're not hunting, we're not fighting, we're not shagging, we're not like humans.
I am.
Well, in the same manner, we're essentially just wild animals, aren't we?
Yeah.
So a man is meant to hunt, he's meant to fight, and with all these restrictions on, I think people are living such an unnatural life, and I think that's a cause of everything like that, you know. It's mental health, depression, obviously phones and social media.
Now, a lot of people, you know, when I was younger, we used to go out, gone up the fields, bird nesting, we used to go fishing and dating. You know, no, they just sit in the room,
bird nesting.
I bird. Now I got the bird's nests.
The key to mental health is get out and do a bit of bird nesting.
No, we did do that.
So for the younger generation, Bob, can you? Because there's going to be a lot of people watch this probably, and they'll wonder what bird nesting is. What's bird nesting,
Bob?
We
used to go and pinch eggs at bird nests. We used to save eggs, you know. We used to go and get the egg. Just take one. If there was 4, you take one, but you hadn't to touch the rest. Because if you touched the other one, the bird fucking would abandon them. Take them out, and you had to be careful. We see them climb a tree and put 3 eggs in your mouth and climb down your mouth. And one burst in your mouth. But then you used to go home, put a hole in the end,
fuck's going on?
blow the shit out of them, and then put them in a box and save them. Loads of eggs.
What for?
Blow the shit out of them.
So what would you want them for, though?
They were just because you like fucking bird nesting. No,
How many eggs do you reckon you've collected over the years?
Oh, fuck the Vanna. If you said how many birds, I can tell you.
He's got a bigger body count than Ted Bundy.
Hey.
But so, I mean, when we were younger, it was stealing fucking dust caps. You used to do stealing dust caps in Newcastle.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff like that. See?
Going egging. We used to go egging with the eggs.
Aye.
Throwing them at windows and all that, you know.
Egging, aye.
You know what I mean? But you seem to be a bit more respectful when you were younger. Like, you're a bit more. I think the youth have grown up with. I don't know the way it's going. I don't know the way it's.
No, you know when they get on about like, if let any of them bang clappers on the back of the head, I do go fucking off it.
That's just fucking kryptonite.
Because you know why, me fella, if I was in fucking I was in late, right?
Yeah.
If I ever come in late, you used to fucking all the way up fucking Denby Avenue, you used to whack us across the back of the fucking heel. I got news.
Yeah.
He was a cunt.
Yeah, was he bad dad or?
Rest his soul.
Yeah. Did you have a good relationship with your dad?
Oh, you know what I mean? I want it for now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. What about your mum? A good relationship?
Oh, my mother now. She died a couple of years ago. I mean, it's 5 years now. Like,
I met your mum, like.
my mother was 98 when she died, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So if I live as long as I'll be happy.
Well, we've done all the garden out, didn't we? We've done a full repoint on the house, didn't we?
Aye, aye.
I met your mother, like, she was a lovely woman, aye.
Aye.
So how many kids do you have?
I've got Michelle, Debbie, Leslie, and I had a son, but he drugs, committed suicide.
Oh, that's very sad. That's really sad. I mean, that's obviously probably why you give a lot of advice to Caldy, yeah.
And that is our day, and it's mad, you know, because they reach out to you a lot more than like fucking anybody else, and I don't know for why that is. We're very close. Well, I've got a really good bond, you know, like, and that's one thing what I cherish out of what has come through the social media. Like on the serious side, I'll turn to him whenever if I'm feeling shit, whatever. It's cool as hell to have that.
I mean, people don't realise. That's a sad thing that people don't realise is like you look at someone like yourself and you just think it's all laughing jokes all the time. It's all laughing jokes, but you don't realise a lot of people have been through terrible times. Like obviously that must have been horrific. That, do you know what I mean?
Well, you know, Carl, every day he'll come to me and you can guarantee he's got that camera on.
You've got the camera out, yeah.
And the thing all that week, I never had my camera with us. I cannot give him a fright, but he can do it to me.
We don't want you doing it sort of thing because she wasn't giving us a cut. It's Bob. Hello. Earth to Bob. Would you like it?
Oh yes.
I'm all right, thank you. So basically, she threatened us with this fucking kid from up the tune, or a couple of kids. Remember when I was sending threats this last? So I didn't know her from Adam. So I was working on this building site, and the night beforehand, she'd been sending us threats saying there was people coming to do us in this and that, right? So these two lads had turned up on the site. I'm looking out at the fence, I'm looking out at the Harris fence, I'm thinking, fucking hell, he's come for me, these cunts. So I put my brick hammer down inside my pants like that. And I goes right, and I'm out the fence and I'm circling these two cunts and I'm looking at them. How many two joiners come for a fucking start to put a cunt? They must have thought, who the fuck's this weirdo? Honestly, but...
We've got that sorted.
But with the trolls and that, I mean, I was saying to Liam the other week, Kim Kardashian, she's probably got millions and millions and billions of people calling her beautiful. But there'll be that one lad who sat in his mum and dad's box bedroom wanking off.
Aye.
Who just wants to comment something negative. And every now and again, someone like Kim, I imagine, would look at that and think and still take offence to it. You can't. That saying of sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me. It's a load of bullshit.
Of course it is.
Because I've had it myself. Like the girl when she went to chin me, and the video went viral, and had and all over the things had like 10 million views altogether. There was loads of positive comments, but there was still like comments, you know, like saying like, "Oh, is this comedian thinking he's funny because he swears?" And I'm like, "But you're not looking at the video. The girls just went to punch me.
Aye.
How would you want me to react? How do you want me to react?"
One we had the other week and all the same. They're brilliant. I love Bob and all that, but I wish you'd stop me swearing. Where's the comedy when he's swearing?
No, of course not.
You've got to be your authentic self, haven't you? Mm-hmm. You've got to be your off. I mean, what's your thoughts on swearing, Liam?
What was the place?
Liam, is there a couple of things over there? What do you call them?
A couple of things, what do you call them?
Oh, got them.
There you go. We're just eating these on live so we can advertise the...
Scott and Wilson, North Shields.
Lovely.
If you've never been before, it's fucking absolutely beautiful. It's a really good place for cuisine. It's a really good place to bring a girl on a first date if you want to bring a girl here on a first date. That's all I can say about Scott and Wilson.
So is there a woman in Bob's life or not? Was there a woman in your life? I see the way you're eating that chicken when you can eat some pussy.
I've fucking heard him and I'll mind. Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Christ almighty.
You've been to Thailand together. Tell us about that. So how's that come about? So how long had you known each other when you decided to go to Thailand?
He's been blacking us to go for ages, but I've always been in a relationship.
12 or 14 years, man.
We've been on 12 or 14 years.
I've always had a bird, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always, it's not something you can, I'm sweet to Thailand with Bob, way I. That's never going to wash it.
Training camp.
If he has a bird, I go off at me.
Oh, he goes mad. If I have a bird for, because sometimes I get entangled in these little relationships, and he goes mad. So what you got a bird for? You don't want one of them, bud.
Why is that, Bob? Do you not believe in having a bird, or is it just?
No.
He just wants us to get to Thailand, and that's all.
Thailand's all I want to eat. I just love Thailand. I love Thailand. It's a culture I go for, you know.
Yeah. It's a what? It's a culture. Good. So when you started going to Thailand, like, obviously, how many times have you been to Thailand? How many times have you been to Thailand?
2-3 times a year for 12 years, something like that.
Yeah.
At first, aye.
Are you known around Thailand?
Oh, aye.
Aye, is he?
Fucking aye.
He actually is, aye. It's quite surprisingly.
Yeah.
It is, aye.
What known for the Angry Bob, or known?
Not just mainly known by the fucking women. It's fucking.
But
I want to spend all my money on you.
No, I used to go there. Couldn't go out through the day to finish because people from the north, these people who knows is Angry Bob. As soon as I went out, have a pint. I would have been mortal drunk. I'd be in bed at 12 o'clock dinner time.
Yeah.
So I just stopped. I just used to stop into a day and go through the night. In the night time.
Yeah. So when did you decide you were going to go, Cal, to Thailand with Bob?
Do you know what? My hand was fucking played by him.
When I took the money off him, he says, I went, right, give the money now. I'm going to go and pay for the flights, and I took the money off him, didn't I?
I had a Bitcoin at the time, and he was like, "Here's the money now." So he definitely going. So I thought, "Fuck it, I'm just going to give him it." And I was apprehensive. I didn't really know what I was going into, to be honest. I'm going to be deadly honest about that. I thought, well, what kind of seedy fucking world is this going to be?
Yeah.
And I was genuinely thinking that. And when I got there, probably changed a bit of my perception. I'm fucking talking shit, actually. It's fucking seedy as fuck. I didn't even know why I was trying to bullshit that. It's fucking horrible.
But 2 years. That was 2 days over there and he was gone. I didn't want to go.
I didn't want to go home, though. And that's how fucking seedy I am. No, it was fucking brilliant, like the atmosphere and the people, like I'm not massively into prostitutes like in the UK, do you know what I mean? Not only are the fucking majorly false advertisement on Viva Street and that,
you don't understand what it's a way of life, it's the culture as well, you know what I mean? You can, some fucking beautiful, they're all stunning birds, every one of them. And but you didn't look them as prostitutes, sweetie, do you, when you look at them? I fucking didn't.
No, you do. But what
I've got respect for them.
No, so what it is, right? So they are so happy about what they're doing, about their job, right? So these prostitutes are earning. Like they're earning a good living over there, by the way. And a lot of them will have 5 or 6 blokes who are sending them money. So some of them don't even actually need to work the fucking streets and the clubs and that. They don't need to. But they do it like as a sport. It's more like all the different bars have got different outfits and that, and you can see it's like a sport for them, and they're dead competitive. I ended up with one who I wasn't paying her wage, like, which was just a nutter, you know. She was like booting me door down that, and I didn't
what for?
I told her I was going home. And then one of our friends seen us in one of the bars. And she found out, and she was running up and taking volleys at my hotel room door. Like,
was she?
Oh, she was going mad, wasn't she, monkey?
Oh, I got. Well, I had one time. I've had a few, but I went in this bar and I sees this bird, nice looking, lovely bird, little bar. 3 people worked in it. Only about the size of this, you know. So anyway, a bar finder, lovely lass, canny lass, takes out one meal and that, and then I goes out with my friend who's. He's marrying the bird over there, man, Andy, like he's building a house now. So when he goes out with him one night with this bird and her, and this bird all of a sudden she just looked at the wall and she went, I'm fucking starting to tie tongue to the wall like that. I went, what the fuck? And the Thai bird said, he keeps saying, Mama, Papa, why you die? I don't like working in bar.
It's Thai
so
good.
It does. You know what I mean? It hurts them really what they're doing, some of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she didn't like working in the bar.
Yep.
So anyway, I went, whoa, fucking hell. So anyway, I spoke to the mama son, the wife, I took her in, you know what I mean? She was about 30 odd or something, you know?
Yeah.
I took her in, but she had a bad time with them when her father dying.
Yeah.
So I was going to say, fuck off sort of thing, but that's it. So anyway, I've gone through it again another night with her. She's trying to smash me fucking telly in me fucking room.
Yeah.
Oh, she says, aye, goodbye.
So what do you think you've got a soft spot, Bob, with what you've been through as well with like we're joking about here, but a bit more serious now, you know, like You know, with what this is, if you want to talk about it, with what went on with your son, do you think that changed a lot of you when your son?
Oh,
do you think it changed a lot in your life?
Mm-hmm. I did really a lot. Actually, I just couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? It was, but he had tried 3 times, 2 or 3 times, and he succeeded the 3rd time.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really.
But the thing is, he had hunger cell. That's what happened.
Yeah.
He had no drugs at all in his body when it happened.
Yeah, that's terrible. I know.
You know what I mean?
I speak about it on my page about I went through a lot of like mental. I don't touch drugs. I don't touch drugs or drink. But I tried to hang myself a few years ago. Mm-hmm. I went through a terrible time myself. Mm-hmm. More for, I don't know if it was more for not attention or anything. You know, like it wasn't. It was more for like, I felt like a cry for help maybe. But at the same time, didn't realise how serious it was until the ambulance were there and everything. And I went through a really bad time. So anything like anyone who's thinking about like suicide, I mean,
there's always somebody there to help you.
Definitely, and obviously there's always someone there to help you. I mean,
what were you going through? Do you mind me asking you that? Like,
I was just going through a really bad time in my head. Like at the time when I got like I'd split up with my ex-partner, which was still really amicable. We get on, and it wasn't just that. It was the fact of like I didn't know if I was going to see. Obviously, I've got a great life with my daughter. I see my daughter all the time. But I was panicking, thinking, am I not going to see my daughter? There was other little demons on my head all the time, just thinking, oh, you've stopped the offshore, you've stopped the plastering, you're going to just do comedy now full time. How are you going to make money from this? You've got a mortgage to pay, you've got a daughter to bring up. And there was not just that, there was loads of other little pressures going on in my time, and my head just wasn't right.
It's a culmination of things.
And it was a first time there was a cry for help. I put something on Facebook, which was daft, and I ended up on a bloody A19 on a bridge. Mm-hmm. And the armed response came, and then that was a cry for help the first time, and the second time was just like, oh fuck this, I'm done. Mm-hmm. And I text my brother and text me. Luckily, I had text my brother because and family, and they came, and bloody dog got bloody booted through and all that, you know. Mm-hmm. But obviously, I talk about this on my social media now because I do want to help as much as I can. I do want to try and help people who are going through a bad time, to say like, not saying I'm in my mind, I'm doing amazing now. I'm doing great. I've got no depression. I've got a good girlfriend, good family, good kids. I've got a good life. But a couple of years ago, if you'd have told me that my life would be like this happy, I'd have been like, fuck off. You know,
it's a strange thing where life can take you, mate. I get that totally.
But that's what I'm saying. Anyone who's going through any sort of deep depression or mental health, that like you say, Bob, there's always someone to talk to. Mm-hmm.
There's always something. There is.
There's always.
And people you haven't gone for to get. It's who you're leaving behind.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. I mean, obviously, how did for anyone? Because obviously you must have went through a bad time. How did you? I know you never recover from that, but how did you pick yourself up after that? Like how did you? Obviously, take that bit of chicken off your lip first before. Take a bit of chicken off your lip. Is the chicken on that side? No, the other side. There we go. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
I did, you know, I mean, it didn't hit us till about 2 or 3 months later. That's when I really felt it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'd get on with it, and I thought, well, is that what he wanted? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Get on with my life the best I could.
No, how old were you then?
Well, he was 39. He would have been 52 now.
So how old were you then? Were you?
Oh, well, 16. I would be about 65.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing to go through. I mean, and I'm just glad you're still here and happy, and living your life, because you've got to. Because he wanted you to live your life and be happy.
I mean, he was in the band. See, my daughter had a band.
Yep.
Debbie and the Wild Hearts. He was a good singer, good dancer, brilliant Dean Green. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We travelled Germany, France, everywhere. We travelled all over like that. You know, had a good time. You know, I mean, I was in a band when I was 15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I done the Frankie Vaughan show.
Yeah.
The Royal Albert Hall. I'd done all that.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? I'm a falling fucking star.
Yeah. Well, were you a drummer in the band?
Drummer.
I've seen a thing before when you were messing about with the drums and that.
Fucking class, man.
What made you stop the band? Did you just family or?
I don't know. Well, my life's been a fucking long one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I left school, I dived for England. When I dived for British schools, you know, springboard diving.
Yeah.
And I'd done that.
Went from that to a muff diver.
Yeah, man, I've worn me fucking snorkel out with that. But And I was diving for a lot of years, and then I got in the band, a band called the Red Planets.
Yeah.
You know, I done the Frankie Vaughan show with the Carol Levis show, Ampere, Newcastle and everything. So I had a choice between the diving and the band, and I chose the band. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when I like so Brian Phelps and Joe Thulis, all them, we should always go to Dowden Corrie, because that's where they went for the Olympic trials, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And but I did it for a lot of years, but I just decided I wanted to be in the band.
Yeah.
And, but the lad who was in originally, Peter Hills, who was in the Red Planets with us, he ended up with the Dawn Mons. Remember the Dawn Mons?
I don't know if I remember. Do you remember?
He died of
I don't go back that far.
He died a few years ago. But then I was in the band, and I ended up, my daughter got a band.
Yeah.
Now my grandson's got a band, you know, Daisy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Follow
But we'll have a belt. I don't with musically, so when we have a party at Bob's, right? So I play guitar.
I play guitar. Liam plays guitar.
fucking
Liam
hell,
plays the bass.
Get it on, man.
I do a bit guitar now,
Aye. So we're fucking, and we freestyling that, and we'll just, when we have a party, we'll have, then where everyone's round, and they'll love it, you know. And
We'll have to have one time.
We'll have a jam,
party.
no
I'll bring the
problem.
guitar.
Aye.
Get the mics on.
No quibble, mate. Well, no problem.
What's your favourite type of music, or do you just like everything?
I like house me.
Do you?
Fucking love it. Yeah, man, when I was fucking 60, I was dancing on the speakers in the fucking town, man.
It's mad. I will say that, like, right. So this is like, people always say, like, yeah, Carl, you're not about with Bob. Like, is he your dad? Is he your granddad? And that, like, explain to people. No, he's just me pal. Like, it's not like knocking about with, like, and I didn't need disrespect to hear Bob, but it's not like knocking around with a fucking 80-year-old. You know what I mean?
No.
It's honestly just like knocking around with someone my own age. It's mad, man.
Yeah. So do you think you've lived some life, like, haven't you, Bob? So then obviously, when you obviously go back to Thailand again, you know, when you went over Thailand and you first did your what was your initial thought? Did you, because was it just you and Bob who went the first time?
Oh, no, there was a couple of four.
So on the first night, right, everywhere was fucking closed, right? There was this like police lockdown thing, so only the bars which the police had control over were open. So there was a fucking minimal selection of birds, and I was wanting to fuck on my first night when I was my first night in Thailand. Fucking what was she like, man? She had fucking big massive teeth, right, but big fake tits.
Oh, where Bunny?
Jugs Bunny were called her. Jugs Bunny. He was like, "What the fuck you doing with that?" I says, "Bob, it's fucking 10 to 2. I want to do something." You know what I mean?
I got one.
The fucking tide one that took her out. You fucker.
It was Buddha Day or something, so everything was closed. You know what I mean?
It was what day?
Buddha Day.
Buddha Day, yeah.
No, it wasn't policeman. It was a police lockdown.
Oh, when they done that, police for him.
What did everyone just starts looking at Bob?
No,
At Bob.
they come from
Angry
from
Blood.
Bangkok, and they come from Bangkok and arrested
Shout,
the
Liam.
captain in Pattaya for fiddling fucking money or something like that. So
Yeah.
they closed everything down.
Yeah.
But I still scored that night.
Did you fuck?
I did.
On the first night? No, you didn't.
I fucking did, you know. I was a fucking neenie, man.
Were you?
Aye.
Were you fuck, man?
Where did I go the first day I went? I went straight down to get a massage.
No, the first night when we got them on the night time.
Oh, I'm thinking about the next night.
Aye. Because we're on the way back on the back bus and I had my arm out and I was thinking, fuck me, what the fuck am I doing? But I fucking Jugs Bunny, she was sound. She was like my introduction to Thailand.
I didn't waste any time after that.
Oh, did you fuck?
How many did you do, Bob?
I think his body count after the first 2 weeks was about 19.
Yeah.
But he gets dead possessive, you know. He gets dead possessive.
What do you mean? Possessive?
Like,
No, I get-
you fuck.
I did right, and I
He claims his legs are bad, but watch how fast he walks when he's fucking got his arm around a Thai bird. I'm not even fucking joking. I'm genuinely not fucking joking. He's got the fucking back legs of a fucking French bulldog, but fuck me, he's fucking rapid down that corridor. Fucking get off her. I remember when I pulled your bird into the room. So I pulled his bird into the room with the two of our kids while we were with, and I says, Bob, they've took her in the room. Should have seen him out there fucking like that, scooting down the passage, shouting at on that. But I
used to have a lot of mates from offshore. Used to go to Thailand. A lot of them. Yeah. Did you?
I get a lot there now, and loads of lads from offshore, you know, we're going to Thailand all the time. who I've met over the years, you know what I mean? And I still keep in touch with them all.
I was lucky, me. I fell in with one that I wasn't paying that I wasn't out to pay that wage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's nicey cunt, like. But
I know, but he's gone on. Oh, she's lovely, she's nice, and the next day I'm fucking sick of her. After 4 days.
I'm like that at home, and anyway, me, I'm like that. But she was nice.
Do you think you'd ever settle? So, do you think you'd ever settle down now, Bob, with anyone
Fuck
else?
off. You know, I mean, I had one there, lovely lass. The last 2 weeks I was there, I stopped with her. I pulled out the shade, got her away from fucking size 6. It's a long story, but anyway, trying to run all that. And then I thought, a few weeks ago, I went, here, she's 27, a nurse, lovely lass. I'm fucking nearly 80. Where's it gonna go? So I just says, goodbye. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because,
did you sing to her? Did you sing to her? That's a little song to her.
Oh, I loved her.
You see, so we did have we vlogged the whole thing. So the last 2 episodes of the YouTube was basically just Bob's the closing of his love affair. But I didn't even actually publish the episodes because I thought like I want to protect his I want to protect his propriety. I thought I'm gonna have to protect his propriety. Fucking hell, how many times?
Private life.
Aye. So I thought I'm gonna, because people comment and people say mad shit and people make assumptions, And
of course.
You get the people who go, oh, that's a nice man. Has he got a cock and all that? Them are the people that's never been to Thailand.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Them are the people that's never had a bit Corey.
He was fully intentioned till he got there.
Oh, I says when I go up, because obviously I do OnlyFans and all that, right? So I says I'll belt one when I get over any problem, right? But I didn't have it something with the hormones or something like that. So I was sitting at me with that bird I was on about. I was sitting at the bar with her. And she went to the toilet, and this lady boy comes over. It's stunning, I get the picture. I'll send you the picture. I've not even put the picture on anything. But honestly, fucking hell, stunning. So I'm just chilling like that, fucking half pissed. Wax his hand in my pants. I'm like, this is sweet. This like knee dramas. So it's stroking away, right? And then it guns in me. Look, it goes, and I thought, why are you wanking me off your mad cunt? I thought, when you be fucking excited, I thought, you're a fraud, you. And that was the only involvement I had with the lady boys over there, like.
Yeah, so you do your OnlyFans. How did OnlyFans come about? Because, and this is not being discriminated, just women, because there's a lot of blokes who do OnlyFans, but a lot of people do assume that OnlyFans is only, a lot of the time, women. They do, like...
Well, I'm here to break that mold. So what it is, I was on a TV programme a few years back. It was a bit of a fucking flop. It was called Bromans. So I went on with my girlfriend at the time. She was good looking lass.
What channel was that on?
ITV2.
All right.
It was all good looking contestants. But bear in mind, I was like the fucking big comedy act. You know what I mean? I wasn't in shape at the time. I was fucking pale as fuck. I was in Bulgaria, 35 degrees. Wouldn't even let us out in the sun. It was just one of them. And when I came off the programme, I ended up splitting up with a lass. And a couple of the lads who are on the programme who are fucking well known, like the fucking muscle people, Instagram models and all that, and they says, Carl, why don't you start this OnlyFans, carry on? So I was like, what sort of money are you making? These people are making fucking tens of thousands a week, And I'm talking like 10, 20,000. They're in Paris one week, then Berlin. If I didn't have the burn, if I didn't have my son, I would be away doing that all the time. So I started getting into it, and I started doing a bit solo content, and I started doing a bit of content with women, and I thought, fuck me, this money's outrageous. But I was on a bit of a bend at the time, so I wasn't concerned about paying tax or fuck all me. So I made substantial figures. I'm talking like fucking 100K plus, and I was partying that hard. I wasn't aware of the content. I ended up with a massive tax bill. But it's a very lucrative thing to be into, especially if you've got a bit of notoriety. And I do struggle with the morality of it sometimes. I do, because people cast aspersions and people think and how they think about things. But for me, it's survival of the fittest. And I've been at times when I've been on my horse and I've needed that money. So that's.
Do you think the fact that you're ginger? Do you think that's a thing?
Maybe it's a niche. It's a niche, and I'm quite well endowed as well. If anyone wants to subscribe.
Subscribe to what?
What's your name? Plug your name.
It's just onlyfans.com.
I'm big enough to be continued.
/Carl Ankram. By the way, he has got a chopper on him, like.
Have you?
They don't call him Long Knob Bob for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Big Bob.
I'll tell you the first time I seen it.
What?
So we're going to a boxing event. One of our pals was fighting veteran, similar. So he was fighting, and he had a fight coming up. And he got ready at mine. This was when the page was in its fucking was flying, and he came out the shower, and I swear to God, I turned around and I just looked and I thought,
What's up with your leg, Bob?
I thought, fucking hell, this cunt's a tripod. He's fucking, honestly, he's down to his fucking knee, the mad cunt. But
Bob.
Long knob Bob.
What's it? The bonding and what's the other one? The bonding court and what's the other stuff?
Bonding,
the other stuff.
multi-pros in the
Bonding court and
hell.
the red bag in it. You know.
I'll tell you the name. No, big. There should be a big bag.
Yeah, big bag of it. There's bonding in a purple bag, and then there's in the red.
Fucking.
Is it hardwall? Hardwall.
No.
Fucking plasterers.
Fucking hell, I can't think.
What's it called? Drowning. So then on the video, this video is on my page, James Kilvington Comedy. It's on my page. Like on the video, I turn the camera to the brown and I go, now that's a brown in there, I don't really like using that. I said, I prefer the bonding coat, gets a bit tight. And I'm saying this as a joke on the video. And there's comments on it going, is he really a plasterer? If he doesn't like, do you know what I'm thinking? Fuck it. I'm commenting back, and sometimes I find myself thinking, are these people for real?
The NCPs, man. And what's the NPCs? Non-playable characters, that's what they are, man.
How have they watched that? How have they watched this video of me taking the piss all the way through? And the thing that they've took away from it is me saying, bonding code is better.
We see that from day to day, man.
Yeah, so have you decided, what do you do now? Do you just block the trolls, or what? Are you just blocking them?
Nah, I'll respond positively, me, early stages, social media, it used to get to us now, I would bick out with someone, but what you tend to find, like what you said before, Bob, it's like a sheep mentality, isn't it? If somebody sees a negative comment, they'll jump on it.
Yeah, that's right, Well, it's,
Go on, I'll have a fucking, what we got there?
Cal's been eyeing them up for ages.
fucking hell of it.
I had a lad comment on one of my, I put a daft video on before. It was like a live, and it didn't have loads of views, but it was on there. And some lad commented on it, and he said, "shit house" or something like that, And I was just sat up, and for some reason I just clicked on him. And when I clicked on it, it said Stockton-on-Tees, and I went on my personal page, and I had 25 mutual friends, and I thought, I'll show you shit house. So so I messaged one of the lads who were on the old plasterers on site, Davo, who used to work with us. And I said, who's this lad? And he said, he's a nobody. I said, he's just put fucking shit house on my photo. I said, on my comedy page, I said, tell the daft cunt I'm going to punch him all over. And he ended up apologising and that, but he said, I didn't know he was like a local lad. I just put it on for a laugh. And he probably did put it on for a laugh, but
people do that. Well, one a day there, but then
the backtrack, don't they?
But then you answer back a normal comment like, I'm not getting mad about it.
Yeah.
And they put on, and then you just put laughs on them.
Yeah, people tend to backtrack if you reply. If you respond to someone with positivity, I tend to find people backtrack. Yeah. But like you say, if you put it on them, they got to backtrack as well. Do you know?
Depending over here.
Well, that's it.
It'd be horrible if you wrote back, I've got my hand wraps on now, I'll see you soon.
And that would be. See, there's been times when I would be hesitant to message someone because when I
don't do that no more. I have a lot of the time that like Bob said, the geeks with nothing to do. They're sat in the room, they've got no life, and it's not being nasty to them. That is them. They're probably depressed themselves that they're not getting any attention.
Of course,
they've got nothing going for them, and that's not being nasty. They've got nothing going for them. Like
male Karens and female.
Yeah,
Karens,
they are. That's what they are. I mean, only like there's if I always think I've been for food plenty of times in restaurants where I've never enjoyed it, but I've never thought to go home and think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write a review. Do you know, I've never thought that.
We've never done that, our call.
I just won't go. But
we'll send it to ourselves in certain places, but...
Yeah, you say it to yourself, you know what I mean? But
you know what I mean? It just might have been unfortunate you had a bad night, and normally it's... really good. You know, I mean, the place is really.
You just go in the place and tell everyone in the restaurant.
I think I can understand it from a certain point of view, because I think a lot of people aren't where they want to be in life. So to see someone successful or getting a bit of praise or rising is quite hard to accept. So I think I have a little dig sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think maybe when I was younger, before we had the Facebook page and stuff, like I used to never watch Geordie Shore, right? And in the back of my mind, really, I was pissed off because they were doing well.
Yeah,
and I can openly say that. Like my ex-girlfriend used to watch it, and I used to be like, I'm not watching that shit and that. And that was, I think
that's also, how old are you now? How old are you?
34.
Yeah, I'm 33. I think it's that age
I
go
think
as well.
part of that was me.
You want to be cool though as
being
well.
pissed off at the fact that they're making shit and I wasn't. But that's where I wanted to be, and I was always trying to get there. And now when I look back, I think fucking hell, it was quite bitter. Like if they did have that emotion, but I can.
I genuinely take my hat off to anyone who's doing well. I say
Massively,
this
mate,
like so. If you look at the comedy circuit's very bitter for people who are doing well. Apart from, but you find the ones who are doing well are very good to other people. Are always because they've got nothing to. They've got nothing to. They're only competing with themselves. So they've got nothing to like. They're not bothered. You're not going to see Jimmy Carr or Peter Kay coming here and say something about us, because they're going to think, why do I need to?
Exactly.
I'm making loads of money and I'm making people laugh. Like, you know, I mean, for Peter Kay to comment on this knobheads.
How happy you are.
I love it. I'd be fucking buzzing.
So that's where I was at with things and feeling like that, and I think it's something that comes with maturity and learning and think, fucking hell, I'm not where I am because they're doing that, and it's just because I'm not making moves. Do you know? And
yeah, definitely.
I probably did hold bitterness towards people that were doing sweet. Do you know what I mean? Because I wasn't doing sweet.
Yeah,
so I can understand that. And now when I'm sitting back and looking at it now, I think, fucking hell, what a bitchy little shit attitude to have. And it is real hard.
Definitely. I mean, I think the best way to do well is by. Obviously you've got to work hard, but I think you've got to be happy for other people first.
Massively, I think gratitude.
High attitude.
Definitely. I mean,
treat people like you want to be treated.
I read Kevin Bridges' autobiography, the Glaswegian comedian who sells out like bloody 19, 21 nights in Glasgow Arena out in a row. And he said one time when he was coming off stage, he said one of the worst things you can do as a comic is hang out off the stage after, you know, with the crowd.
Yeah.
He said it was when he was first like getting bigger and bigger, before he was doing thousands and thousands of seats, and he said he went into like a back room of a pub, and this guy was like, "Oh, you were good, but anyone can do what you're doing." And he was like, and he said it was, but then he said when he thought about it when he got home, because the guy went, "You're only just saying stuff that we all think of in Glasgow," and the guy, when he said he got home, he said he thought like, that's a massive compliment, because if anyone can do it, I'm still making good money off it. Off what everyone can do. Yeah. So, but they can all do it. But I'm the one. But why aren't they doing it? And I'm the one doing it. And it's totally right. There's a lot of people do it all the time. With a lot of comics I know a very, very successful comic now, and there's a lot of other comics go and he's smashing it. When I say smashing it, he's doing really well. Don't need to say his name. You could work it out with what I'm going to say now. But a lot of comics go, he does all the things that other people can do, and I'm like, you aren't doing it. And then I was talking to an owner of the. A very well-known comedy club, a great comedy club to be honest, and he was talking about the trolls who comment on his page, which has got the same amount of likes as you have, like the same amount of following. And he said what he does now is every time there's a troll comments, if he's bored and he's on the train or something, he said I'll go onto the troll's profile, go down it, and he said now at one point they'll have posted something that said "be kind." He said I'll just print screen it. He said and just put it back. You know, as the reply.
That, man,
do you know, like it's always because people don't realise what's going on in people's lives.
Totally.
What's the biggest audience that you performed in front of?
Probably close to about 1,000 on support, doing show support.
That's massive.
Support. It's mad. I done one before in Blackpool North Pier Theatre when the lockdown restrictions were thingy in too, and that was in like, you know, when everyone had to sit with masks on.
Yeah.
And sit like away from each other in families. And they were just heckling me in the dark. It was like fucking whack-a-mole for heckles. You know, I couldn't even see them. I was guessing. I was going, fuck off, you skinny bastard. Could have been, you know, the blokes are all that big.
Thanks very much.
But I think with comedy, I think it's built up. Sometimes I've done some massive venues, and I don't think about it. So like I was telling you the other week, I done an interview with Frank Bruno the other week, and if someone had told me 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you're going to interview Frank Bruno, you're going to do a comedy show, then you're going to interview Frank Bruno, it's going to go really well. If someone had told me that, I'd have went, fuck off. Do you know, like I would have, as I said, I'm a fuck, you know, like, and then, and I didn't think about it till after, and what a nice guy he was.
Was he actually
really nice guy, and it wasn't until I'd finished it, and I got home, and I was talking to my mum and dad, and I was just talking, I said, oh, my dad was like, what was Frank Bruno? I was like, oh, he was great. And he commented on my page, love to work with you again, box.
That's class, that, man.
And I was thinking, like, and I sat back and I thought, fucking hell. But when I was interviewing him, I'll tell you the truth, he's 61-year-old. I was thinking, I wouldn't like a belt off the bastard. he called us the Geordie halfway through, and I do that joke about the smoggies and the Geordie. I'm not a Geordie. I thought, I'm not arguing with him. Look, his hands are like that. Honestly,
know your boundaries.
But he's like, yeah, you know your boundaries. You told me before I went to meet Bruno. You messaged me, didn't you?
Yeah, so I messaged him. Obviously, me and my pal were in Benidorm, were high as hell for days, you know. Like, they were high before we went, and were high as hell for days. I took a kind of considerable amount, like, and we kept on going to the same club every night, you know. But we had wigs, we took wigs from my house, right? So every night we're going to the same club in wigs, right? And we're leaving the club every night saying, yeah, them are fucking sound, all them lads in them clubs. So we had these two big bodybuilders with fucking knee top on, greasy as fuck, covered in oil. We're like, yeah, everyone's sounding there. There was these two Asian guys with pink tops on that. We're like, that's the fucking soundest place we've ever been. So on the last night, I was like, and I says, yeah, I says, you've been inside and had a look outside. It was the most blatant, obvious gay boy you've ever seen in your life. Right? We'd be gone every night with me. Yeah, everyone's fucking dead friendly in there, like. And fucking, but we'd met this kid that looked like Frank Bruno. So I messaged him. And I says, I asked Frank Bruno when he met fucking such and such in Benidorm in a gay bar. And then I got stoned the next night, right? Like, heavily stoned. And I was like, sat there, like, asking, oh, fuck, what if James says that to Frank Bruno? And then Frank Bruno asks who I am. Then Frank Bruno sees my profile and he wants to come and dose in. So I had this big fucking paranoia about that Frank Bruno and it went deep on that. It was like Frank Bruno and his agents and his entourage were going to find out who I was. Like, oh, this fucking Ginger Carly's got a blue tick and now he's going to fucking come. And I was like, oh my God. So I messaged him. I was like, James, please don't say that.
He's thinking I'm going to be sat there in front of 300 people. Talking about when he fought Mike Tyson and go, oh, can I just stop you there, Frank? Do you know when you met Ginger Cal in Benidorm?
I was fucking green, you know. I was so stoned, man. I was like, no way he's gonna say this.
But he's got good crack, you know.
I bet he has, me. I bet he's got some stories.
He said when he was talking about Mike Tyson, I said, so what was he like, Mike? And he was like, oh, yeah, he was big, boss. He was like, he was big. He went, this is what he said as well in front of everyone. He went, big arms, big neck. He went, big legs. He went, I think he had a big middle leg as well. You know that? And then started doing his lap out. I was just buzzing off him, you know, like, you know, like
he's done a couple of workouts in Thailand and all, you know.
Yeah, well, he does it. He promotes a lot for mental health, you know.
Aye.
He promotes. He has a book out now because he was talking about, and he said exactly what you've said. He said, and it's funny that, and I mean, this has been a joke, great podcast, great fun. But it's promoted that as well, hopefully. And obviously, he did say the same thing as everyone says. It's always someone to talk to. But one thing he did say, and I thought was really, really good advice. He said, "There's always someone to talk to, but also talk to the right person. Don't talk to someone who's going to take the piss out of you." Do you get what I mean? Because there's all, like, you know, there's all.
You bang on there, like there is.
Do you know, like not someone who's going to just like you know. And I thought that's right. He said it's alright saying to people, oh yeah, they're great to talk to, great, but talk to the right person as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think 9 out of 10 people are nice. Well, 8 out of 10 people are nice people, aren't they?
It is. So it's that thing. I found when I was going through my worst stages that some of the people that I turned to, or some of the least people that I would turn to, I don't know if I can articulate that well, but it's people that I wouldn't usually turn to.
Yeah.
I was finding comfort in strangers.
Is that in Benidorm?
I was Frank. No, I was finding more comfort in strangers. Yeah, and I don't know for what reason. Not per se strangers, but people who weren't within me in a circle, and I found that.
I think Yeah, go on.
I'll
Brad.
just Stella, please. Thank you.
Just one lime. What is it? Lime and
Just
soda.
lime and soda, please. Yeah. I think one of the things that was really funny, which is that even though, because we're all from the northeast, I think this is very northeast crack. Even when you're at your, especially our crack, even when you're at your lowest, you still want to have a laugh. So when I'd done what I'd done, I didn't realise how serious it was when I'd done what I'd done. So I'd put a dressing gown belt round, you know, and when I'd done it, I thought, like, this is great, you know, it's not going to hurt me, it's not a belt, you know, it's horrible as it sounds. And I sort of, I knew, like, I'd already sent the text out, so that was the cry for help. So I sort of thought, I'm not going to die. I didn't want to die, I just thought, I certainly wanted everyone to realise, like, I am in a bad place. And so when I'd done it, I didn't realise, because if I'd have wanted to do it, I felt like, in my head, this is what I said to the doctor, I said I'd have just jumped off a bridge, or, you know, and definitely been dead. So I leaned into it, but I didn't realise I'd passed out. You know, when I leaned into it, obviously I didn't realise I was passed out.
So was that asphyxiation?
And so, like, obviously, like, when I'd leaned into it, which is, it's horrible to do it, like, but I'd leaned in it when I'd heard my brother sort of, like, fly up in his car, and heard him, but I still had the door locked. I didn't realise how serious it was. My brother's still smashing the door through, like, and that's in my house that I owned. He's still smashing the door, so it'll be like that down, to not give a crap about, like, a £1,000 door, and thinking, oh, I don't care if it gets smashed through. And I was passed out when obviously they came through, because he'd looked through the letterbox, horrible for him. And but even still in that bad time when I was at my lowest, I still wanted to make people laugh. So I remember being sat there, and like, and this is not being, I'm not taking the piss out, so it's how I felt, and I was devastated. I was just like, and there was the police there, the ambulance there, and like all my family were there, and they took me in the back of the ambulance van, and they said, we need to take you to hospital. And I still speak to the paramedic now, and I won't say his name just in case. I don't want to get him in trouble for his job, but he's a great guy. And he said to me, he said, listen, I know it's going to be hard for you. He said, and my brother said, I'm not leaving him. I'm sitting in the back with him. So my brother was sat with me. I've got two brothers, but it was that brother that was there already. He said, I'm not leaving. And he sat there and he said, listen, he said, I need to know. He said, what happened? Can you explain what happened? And I started, like, I said, oh, it's an out, mate. I said, I'm fine. He's like, I know. He said, but I need to write it down. He said, I was like, oh, well, I said, I don't know why everyone's so wound up. I said, I was just trying to have a strangle wank. Like that, you know, and he started laughing, the paramedic. He said, you're a good lad. He said, like, what's up? You got a nice house. You got, I said, just, and then, anyway, so like, because he found that funny, he realised with his sense of humour that I had a sense of humour. Do you know what he fucking said? He banged on the partition, you know, between the ambulance and about to go. He said, Howie, then he said, we've done the paperwork. He said, Howie, let's go. And the guy who was driving the ambulance said, he said, yeah, he said, oh, sorry, I thought you were doing the paperwork. He said, no, he said, Howie, he went, stop hanging around. Like that. And then he's messaged me not long ago saying, how's it hanging, you know, like, he's like, but like, I think sometimes in the darkest times, you can still have a laugh at the dark. Like, I've been to a lot of funerals, like me uncle passing away, granddads and nanas and all that passing away. And I was carrying a funeral for a mate of mine before, and when we were all carrying the coffin, I was tapping the back of it to the lads in front going, help, I'm still alive. You know, having a crack, so I knew my mate would like it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because sometimes in the lowest times you can still smile, you know what I mean? 100%. I think laughing does get you through it.
I remember a time, oh no, I cannot say that.
You can if you want, you can bleep it out. If you
no, the whole thing you had to bleep out.
I'll tell you. My little nana's funeral. So my father's a big stoner, and I'm not so much of a stoner, but I will have a smoke of the weed. I'll eat edibles or whatever.
Can you hold that drink or what?
So it was. Sorry, Bob. It was my nana's funeral.
Cheers, Liam.
And we went down to Warrington for the funeral, and she was a lovely lady, my nana, didn't get us wrong, everything like that. But so on the morning of the funeral, my father's like, "I'll stand having a fucking good bloke." My father, he's no mug, like, he's fucking switched on bloke. He's got a good profession and all that, but he loves his weed.
Yeah.
So he has a few talks on a fucking joint and all that.
Yeah.
He says, "Do you want some of this, son?" I swear, I need bother. So has a few talks with my father. Anyway, we get to the fucking ceremony. So me and my father's carrying the coffin, aren't we? I'm at the back left, he's at the front left. And bearing in mind, we're both stoned to fuck, so we're lugging this fucking coffin in like that, right?
Yeah.
And the full fucking Catholic shebang, she's fucking spraying the water, the fucking, got the incense and all that. So the vicar fucking starts splashing the water. My father's baldy as a cunt, innit? So a bit of fucking water. flies off, right, smashes me, and my father's right in front of me there, right, and it comes up, just smashes off his baldy head, and water lands in my eye, right, so I'm just fucking creasing like that, the coffin's fucking shaking all the way, and then I knew my father started laughing because the front end started shaking, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is fuck this, and I'm stoned, and I'm getting more stoned because I'm not used to it. So anyway, we get in, fucking sits doing at the altar. Now the priest starts fucking talking, or the vicar, or whatever. But on the fucking lectern where you stand and talk, and there's a depiction of Christ, but it looks like there's a little boy kneeling in front of him, and it looks like there's a little boy shucking him off, right? So my father's like that with his head bowed, and he's still sliggering away. So I'm like, oh, father. I'm like, oh, father. And he's gone, no. He's shaking his head. He's gone, no. I see his look at that. And I just remember his little eyes being just stoned as fuck, just looking up, and he was gone. There was snot coming out of his nose and everything. And we both sat, me nana, God bless her soul, just dead in the coffin, and we're fucking howling like that.
There's no...
Yeah, of course it is.
There's nothing worse than like you know, my nana died in COVID. She died of COVID. She was the first person to try the actual the anti-vaccine. When I went to see her, obviously that was my first thing I'd done. I went to see her, and we had to mask up to go and see her, and you could only see her on your own before. And even still in death, like, she was having a laugh. Like, she had a mask on and all that. And I came in and I had all this gear on, but you know, like an astronaut walking in, you know. And I looked at her, and she had like the little bruises on her arm and that, and she said she took like a mask off to see me like that, and I just said my opening line with me nana was, "Fucking hell, Nana, have you been fighting Mike Tyson?" And she started laughing, you know, and she started laughing, and obviously, I was probably one of the only ones in our family who went in on my own and just had crack with her. And my mum said when the next day when she went the day that she passed, she was like, "Oh, where's our James? I want to see our James." Which I know it like sounds like I love that, you know, that like I still made her feel that way, that she was like cool, she was like laughing and that, you know, before she probably wanted to belt me, you know, before she. But like I say, you can I think there's nothing more funnier than what you've just said there, laughing in an inappropriate time. That is my funniest, like, and it's probably the same for everyone. Laughing at something you shouldn't laugh at is the funniest thing ever. Like, you know, when it's something that you shouldn't be laughing at.
Especially when you're up against a caution, there's eyes on you as well, and you're not meant to be laughing, and you start, and that's it. There's always someone as well who's close to you, and there's always that one person who you've got. There's a guy who used to work with me offshore, and what he'd do is he'd sit next to me, great crack this, and he'd just go like, he was from Wakefield, and he'd go, say someone came in, he'd go, "All right, Tony." Like, so this like lad would sit down, he'd be having his bait and he'd go, "How's the jogs, Tony?" Like that, and then he'd just start tapping me on the leg, you know, under the table, you know, look, and this Tony would be going, they're great, like, and he'd be like, he'd keep tapping me, going, "So looking after them, are you, Tony?" And I'd just start laughing, and this Tony would be like, "What are you fucking laughing at?" You know, and I'd be like, but it'd be him, you know, under the table, you know, doing that, you know, like, because every time he'd look away, all he used to do was.
Tell you a time like that, I was on a train in Romania. I was working in Romania, like, where away. So I on this train going to Brasov, and we're sitting there, there's a bloke next to us, and I fucking keep getting on me leg. I went, fucking, what's going on here? He had a fucking chicken in his bag, and I was pecking me fucking leg.
Fucking hell, were them edibles? Absolutely brilliant, honestly great guests. If you've not followed the page, get on Ginger Cal and Friends on all social medias. You give yourself a plug, Cal.
Yeah, we're on all social platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram. Don't call me Twitter.
Facebook,
YouTube,
TikTok.
Give us a subscribe on the video on all of our pages. Give us a like, give us a follow. You'll see more videos, and if you want to see more, give us a comment in the bottom on the comment section below, please. That'd be great.
Nice one, squirrel.
Nice one, squirrel.
No trolls.
Loads of trolls.